Welcome to the SideQuest, your weekly journey into the wonderful world of video games, video game culture. And why am I in like 3 frames per second? I don't know. Welcome to the SideQuest, your weekly journey into video games. I'm Dolly Domofsky. We'll see who joins us, but I see viewers are joining us. How are y'all doing on a lovely Sunday evening? I'm in the Detroit area, Detroit, as we call it over here. The city, the D, and not the big D, that's Dallas, but we are the D. That's all you need. Vitamin D. I'm Vitamin D. I'm Dolly. Check that out. SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV on YouTube and Twitch. Hop into the Discord if you can, if you want to. We got a Patreon as well. Want to give a shout out to our very awesome Patreon members. Thank you to our executive, Punctified, Punkefied. See you at the Game Awards this year, but I think I'm going to go. Also, thank you to our producers, Stefan, Cricket, Jeff Grubb, Exaginous, and Zero the Prototype. And then also thank you to the friends of the show, folks who came in for thanks, the free tier. Y'all are just wonderful, wonderful folks, giving you guys a little bit of love there. It's been a fun week. It is last week's show was a lot better. It was awesome than our regular show because it was just JJ and Sam, the wonderful, the terrible twosome, the wonderful dudes. They held it down. They did a great job, and it was a lot of fun. Hey, how's it going, Santi Lozano? Yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of chatting. Look at this. I got this Pokemon's microphone thing here. Let's see here. Thank you, random numbers. Thank you. Always good to get some subs in there. Yeah, it's been a crazy ass week in gaming news, and we're gonna talk a couple little news bites, and then some of the stuff that I've been, that I and we and the team have been playing and reviewing and that kind of thing. But how are you guys doing? Everybody doing good? Anybody playing anything this past week? Any games? Let me know. I will throw them up during the during the show. We can chat about what you've been playing all throughout the last 7 days. Anywho, why does it still say starting momentarily? We're live. It is Yappin' Hour. That's what it is. Yappin' Hour. I had all these banners from previous levels, so yeah, it's craziness. Spyro and Fortnite now. What was it? Is it Crash Bandicoot that's in Fortnite? I don't know. I think that was the one that was announced. Spyro would rip. Spyro's awesome. We SideQuesting in the Discord. We are big Spyro fanatics, as y'all know. So definitely, we'll raise those banners. So let's get into some of the news. Some bad-ish news and your shitty news, I guess. But also haha news. I don't know. It's weird to talk about this news, but Saber Interactive's head honcho, Matt Karsh, came out and said, thank you, Eurogamer, for this info, for these next couple articles. But he said, I would have been happy to replace her with AI. He was talking about one of the writers that they replaced with ChatGPT. And that went on for like a week. Like, they have this new game out or coming out. I don't know what it is. That is I don't even know what this game is. It is like a rideshare game, and one of the writers for this game and for other projects was cut and replaced by ChatGPT. She came on to or they came on to This Week of Video Games, or a couple folks came on to all over the place and mentioned this, and then Matt Karch came out and said he was one who came out This Week in Video Games, that I would, frankly, in retrospect, have been happy to replace her with AI. At least we would be dealing with someone programmed to be honest. And whoo, boy, oh boy, did the hammer come down both externally and internally, because that was there was a lot of backtrack. There was a lot of backtracking, like the feet going backward, the reverse backtracking happening. And I think one of the big things that popped in was after they sort of admitted that they were kind of using AI for this game, they finally added the AI disclaimer to Rideshare Simulator. That's what the game is called, to the Steam page. And all of a sudden, you got got them saying, "Yeah, we used AI." There's the disclaimer. Well, SideQuesting team member JJ posted all of the craziness that was basically AI generated. It was just nuts. It really what kind of was. It seems like there's quite a few AI things in this game. Whatever you want to say about AI, it's your prerogative. It's just the way that this has been kind of coming together, especially saying you're going to replace people with AI. And then, hey, guess what? When the PR folks came in and legal came in, guess what happened? Saber CEO Matt Card said, I have to apologize. I done goofed. I should never have said that. It's like, yeah, there you go. Stella Sacco wrote the notes there, and so Matt apologized for escalating and how people have been talking about her and talking about him, and it was just a mess. How do you make a video? You turn on a camera and you just hit the little button there, the little record button. You can go into your YouTube app and hit the go live button in YouTube, and there's your video. So hope that helps how to make a video. This is such a weird thing. From a lot of standpoints, as a CEO, you just can't say things like that. You can never say that kind of stuff. Whatever you believe, and guarantee the majority of CEOs out there want to replace all the workers with AI. Trust me, that's just what they think now. They're going to try to save as much money as possible. CEOs in every company, yours, mine, this one, that one, across the street. If you own a pizza shop and you're the CEO, you want to replace your delivery people with AI. That's just how it is. They think it's going to save money. So you just can't say it, though. You can't say that out loud. You got to have some humanity to you. So, but yeah, that news kind of came and bounced all over the place this week. In happier news, though, there have been a bunch of events this week, and one of the events was D23 happened these last few days, and it's a Disney anniversary thing. So Disney was 1923, D23. That's why it's called D23, even though it should be like D26 right now. Whatever. I don't set those rules. But one of my favorite TV series of all time is The Simpsons, and our good boy Matt Groening, who graduated from my art school. Good old Matt Groening. He, Simpsons Hit Run was a game that I played religiously on the GameCube. In fact, that was the first game that I ever took to my girlfriend at the time, now wife, her house back in 2002, whenever it was, to play video games there outside of Mario Party. It was Simpsons Hit Run because it's just a goofy ass game. Well, good old pal Matt Groening was during the panel, somebody asked, hey, when are you guys going to bring Hit and Run or do another Hit and Run or bring it back or something? And he said, oh yeah. It's making a comeback. And then I think somebody else had to jump in and like say no or whatever, but they had the Simpsons panel, and let's see as it goes. A one attendee asked the panel whether, now that a second Simpsons movie was on the way, potential for a second Hit and Run game, and that would certainly be a treat, said Selman. And then Groening said, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but I think the original game is coming back in some form. And then Selman had to come in and be like, oh, no, or not. So it was pretty funny. Again, huge Simpsons nut. I love this. Hit and Run. I still have the game. It's like one of the few GameCube games I have sitting around left. And have that game come back would be great. That's just a really fun game. That was when Grand Theft Auto and was a Crazy Taxi and that kind of stuff was kind of really popping early on. This was something that Fox at the time, now Disney, put out there, and I thought it was just really cool. Speaking of Disney, PlayStation revealed a limited edition Wolverine, which is Marvel, which is Disney, PS5 console with controllers. Again, thank you to Video Games Chronicle. This stuff is awesome. Look how good they look. Look at this. They look so good. They're really nice looking. I'm just going to point. I wish I could enhance. But I do like these. I think somebody made a good point. Like these should be, maybe if they made these like adamantium would be kind of, or a little bit more adamantium-ish or bone-ish or something. But I like the graphic. I think it's really nice. I actually like the controller graphic of running something diagonally on the controller that way as well. Very rarely do these types of controllers and designs get me. Like when something's heavily branded with the game, I'm like, okay, you got too much of your game built in there. It's going to have like Last of Us 2 is on the controller or Gears of War. Those controllers look like butt, by the way. But these look pretty good, I got to say. They're just kind of a nice, this yellow color is even like the silver color, really smartly done. And I think it's something that, more should be released. I think they're really nice. Maybe there could be some other colors. Maybe there could be other characters. I don't know. But yeah, they're cool. Count me in. I would say count me in. I think that's kind of neat. And then speaking of limited, limited edition designs and stuff, there's a new Zelda game coming out, and let me share this tab instead. Check it out. There may be a brand new limited edition Legend of Zelda console on the way. This is pretty dope as well, because it is, again, not linked to a specific game. It doesn't say Ocarina of Time on there. We were talking in Discord about how we like sort of these cool general designs and having just a really nice, simple, like the triangles. The last Zelda console for the OLED during Tears of the Kingdom that was released is really nice as well, because it doesn't even have Tears of the Kingdom on it. It's just a really nice looking design, and this is the Switch 2 version of that, I guess you could say. So it's not only is this console being released, look at that, it's kind of a cool green side. They're actually changing the colors of the Joy-Con, and that's a first for the Switch 2. So maybe that's going to be enough to get people excited, because Nintendo knows they're not going to sell those separately. They're going to sell those as a part of the Switch 2. So you're getting the green or the black. I think that's kind of badass. My daughter is playing Splatoon Raiders, and we don't have a second Switch 2 in the house, so I might give her my current Switch 2 and get this one for myself, because we would want that. And then this controller is nice too. Again, you got the split right here down the middle, boop, as this kind of comes down. So you get the green, the black side, and you got the triangles mimicking the Triforce, and a bunch of Triforces in there. It's nice design. I love this design. That's going to be a really sick design. I love that PS5 design. I think that's really nice. And I love that Xbox 25th anniversary Xbox that's coming out. So there's some good, yeah, we want color. Nintendo, like Link's arm. Yeah, Link's arm in Tears of the Kingdom was cool because he had like that molten arm thing that was going on because it was all destroyed from the tears of the kingdom. So yeah, cool stuff. I'm excited for this kind of stuff. It's always neat. And getting these consoles out there always gets people to buy consoles. And right now, we need people buying consoles, even though it sucks that they're so expensive. If it's going to get a sucker like me to buy a second console, or in the case of my Switch, the original Switch, I think I won 4 of that one. I had like 15 Game Boys and DSs and 3DSs, so don't even ask about that. Only one NES, only one Super NES, but everything else, you name it. So this is cool. I think this is great, and this is going to be hot, and it will be yours truly is very likely going to pick up one of those. Oh man, Mononoke. Could you imagine, by the way, a Princess Mononoke? Give me some anime, cool ass anime console designs. That would be pretty badass. Doesn't like Sony own like Crunchyroll or something right now, and or whatever, one of those things, and they can pop up some cool anime. Give me a One Piece Switch 2. That'd be badass. Akira, PS5. Anywho, we've been playing some stuff. I've got so many reviews, y'all. I got a bunch of games I've been playing over the last like 3 weeks or so that I'm gonna be layering them out over the next couple weeks here. Some on my poor Steam Deck that I think is coming up on the last of its life. My laptop here is coming to the end of terms. I really wish more stuff was on Mac because I would just play it there. My PlayStation Portal, I'm parting ways with it, and that's where I was playing, trying to play some games earlier because I think there's actually some Wi-Fi issues with it. Maybe it's not my home network. Maybe it actually is this PlayStation Portal because I bought a refurbished one from Best Buy couple years back or a year and a half ago, and it's been nothing but issues with the thing. So I'm fairly certain that maybe it's a Wi-Fi chip. Maybe it's that I don't have my PS5 hooked up to an Ethernet and have to go through the hoops. Whatever. All that matters is I finally played Symphony of the Night. Yes, I know. Yeah, anti-hold the plus button. I finally played Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I know some of the folks have been getting me on it, just never got around to it. I've been waiting for it to come onto a mobile-ish platform. Wasn't on the Switch, not on Switch 2. It's not on Steam. So I thought, I'm going to play it on the Portal. And that's why I was having these Portal issues, by the way. So after playing it, trying to get it thrown on the Portal and having all kinds of streaming issues, I was downstairs right next to my Wi-Fi. PS5 is upstairs, and it was just failing. So whatever. But Symphony of the Night. Let me just say this: I got 2 hours into this game, and boy, is that a hell of a game. But also, boy, does Konami not ever explain where you can save your game, because I got 2 hours into this 8-hour game without having saved anything, because I thought, okay, there's auto saves or there's quick saves or there's going to be a save point. Going to come up on these save points. Guess what? Didn't see anything that was labeled as a save point anywhere. I went into rooms that looked like they should be save points, but didn't do anything. Hey, Konami, you're supposed to label save game here, or something should pop up, because I got 2 hours into it and I died. And I opened up and nothing. When I opened up the save game, there was no save game. It did not auto save. It did not quick save. I lost 2 hours worth of game time because it's just not clearly designed to show you what it's the giant like rotating D20 thing that supposedly you walk up to and press up and it becomes a save thing. I didn't know that. I had to Google it to find out how to save the freaking game because it's not labeled anywhere, and it's not in any of the notes in the game. So I'm playing on PlayStation 5. I have the game downloaded on PS5. So yeah, lost 2 hours. Not fun. Yeah, I think I'm very, very close to doing that. Very closely, but I've got to go. It's only an 8-hour game. I can paw through it during a week. Get some time here and there, but yeah, it was a real bummer. I have to redo a whole bunch of stuff all over again. It pissed me. Maybe I'll let it marinate for a few weeks before I jump back in. But come on, game design. I'm glad modern games kind of go the extra. Most modern games go the extra way of telling you what to do things. I did have that Elden Ring incident where they didn't tell you that there was a tutorial. You just you're supposed to walk into an area at the beginning of Elden Ring, and there's supposed to be a tutorial there. I didn't know that. I walked past it and didn't realize there was actually a whole tutorial section in Elden Ring. And my initial gameplay of Elden Ring sucked ass because I just kept getting slaughtered. I didn't know how to play, didn't realize I had to do certain things. And I was just grinding through like a typical action RPG. And I think it was one of the podcasts a few years back when the game first launched. I was talking about it. I'm like, yeah, it's a gorgeous game. I'm enjoying it. It's just taking forever to do all this. I don't know how to do this or that. And I think it was Taylor at the time was like, well, you did the tutorial, right? I'm like, what tutorial? And they're like, you have to go into the lake. I'm like, what lake? What do you mean? And yeah, it's not, again, things that are not clearly called out do kind of suck. I did end up finally doing the tutorial. What I actually am playing, Dragon Quest, other things, Dragon Quest 2 HD2D. I'm getting back into that. I'm clearing out my backlog because I know there's a ton of stuff coming on the way. I'm going to hop into Final Fantasy 14. I've been wanting to get back into it. I think I played all of 1 hour of that game before on a free account. So I don't, or on an account that I had for like a free trial. So I don't care that I'm starting over again, but I'm going to put that on the Switch too. Gosh, having a mobile device, having a portable handheld device really is the way to play games, because that's awesome. So I'm playing through that, and I finally finished Final Fantasy VII remake, and the Yuffie story, which I liked. So that's all done. Finally, it's all done. If anyone wants to buy a Switch 2 keycard copy of Final Fantasy VII remake, let me know. I've got that ready to go. I want to play Rebirth as well in hopes of getting all that stuff done before Final Fantasy VII. I've got 2 things, actual things to talk about, review things. One is a board game. These are both party games I'm going to talk about, which is cool. One is a board game. So I love board games. I love word-based stuff. I play Wordle religiously every day, even like today's where it wasn't a word. Trust me, but it was a word apparently. And then there's a new game that I've been playing, which is become my obsession as a word nerd, as a grammar junkie. It's called Long Story Short, and essentially it is. The nice thing about this is that I didn't do that, but your whole point in Long Story Short is to, like, they give you a sentence and you have to actually cut it down to 5 words, not like the 10 to 15 or that they show you. So it's cool, but it's kind of like teaching efficiency, which is kind of neat. Anyways, I love word games. Word games are great. And so anytime you get a word board game or party game, I'm in. This one is called If Words Could Kill. Unfortunately, there were no videos that I could link in. So you're going to have to bear with me as I try to explain this thing. So If Words Could Kill, there it is right there. So this game is really cool because thank you to T-Turtle, by the way. I think that they're the company that's publishing this one and putting it on Unstable Games. Thank you to Unstable Games. They're the ones that are publishing this thing. And it's just a really simple card game. You don't need dice. You don't need anything like that. So it comes with, it is a nice box. This is really cool. Check out the nice box. It comes with the instruction booklet, and it's actually very easy to figure out how to play. So check out this cool little timer thing. It's just to help you keep track of score. So it's like Scrabble, but it's attack Scrabble is maybe the best way to describe it, which I love. I'm a huge Scrabble nut. I will play Scrabble any day of the week. And attack Scrabble, where you're kind of playing with offense and defense, is a neat idea. So everybody gets, look, we got Sam. Hey, Sam. How's it going? I'm just getting into what I've been playing, and you joined me at the perfect time. So I'm mentioning I've been playing If Words Could Kill, which is a top game, a card game.
Would be bad if you hosted a podcast and that was possible.
Yeah. Exactly. The cool thing about this game, so everybody, you get 5 of these cards, which are letter cards. Check it out. You get 5 letters, the whole alphabet, folks, and each one has a score on there, right? It's just 5, 2, 1, whatever. And you get these shields, which are, you get 1 shield. You get, let's see, is there 2? There's 2 ravens or crows. Yeah, 2 crows as a shield. Where are they? Here we go. This the crows look like. And then there's it's called a murder. The murder is in here somewhere, but it's 3 crows. And what these are is those are kind of your hit points. And your goal is to Everyone takes turns. It's funny, like they say the way to start off, again, you can start however you want, but the way to start is to pick the person with the most consonants in their name, and they're the ones that go first. That's kind of a way to get kicked off. And so what the person has to do is each person gets one of each of these 3 crow cards and 5 of these guys, 5 of these cards, the letter cards. And your goal is to score, to put down at least 3 letters. So I think a word has to be at least 3 letters long. And that I think is kind of cool. So you start off with 3 letters, and let's say I'm the one that goes first. My word is ear. So I put down ear, and they have a little timer thing. You got 45 seconds to come up with your word. I write down ear, and I get, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 points out of it, whatever. Then I choose a person that I'm quote unquote attacking. So let's say I'm attacking you, Sam. Sam, you take your cards. Like, okay, you're attacking me. This is for at least 2 people can play this, up to 5 people, maybe even more, but it says 2 to 5. So Sam would take his cards, and he's got his 5 cards, and he's like, okay, well, ear. Can I get more points than ear? Your goal is to constantly keep adding points and keep going higher. So let's say you have R. You have an R in there. You go, okay, I'm going to spell rear. So you put the R at the front of that, and now you have points, and you go up to rear. Cool. Then you can switch cards, whatever, and you can keep going back and forth and around the table and that kind of stuff. If you can't get a higher score, if you can't either add or come up with a whole new word, because you can actually just say, forget the letters that are out there, I'm going to put a whole new word out. Then you lose one of these cards. Now, you can, if you have the single crow card, you can actually use it in your turn. If you're like, I don't have enough to score with the current cards that I have, but guess what? This crow card, I got 3 points with this bad boy, this eye. So that's a way to, like, you're losing a hit point, but you're gaining 3 points. If that's not going to help you, then you go to your second shield crow card. And in this one, the 2 crows have these kind of modifiers, these sort of summons in them. And this one says reset your hand. So you get to do all your cards from the beginning and gain time. So you flip this sucker, you flip the time over, and you get 45 seconds to think again. So that's kind of a cool thing. That's your second card. So you're like, okay, I have a bit of a chance. And if that doesn't happen, if you still can't beat the score, then you put your third card. You have your third crow down, and this third crow is pretty funny because it's like your third hit point. Because basically saying, like, here it is. It's kind of a cool design too. It says attack any player except the player who attacked you with the word used to attack you. So let's say the word is, like, I don't know, pizza pie. If that's all one word, then pizza pie is a lot of points. And I'm going to use it to attack you back, or I'm going to attack somebody else. So you still die in a way, but you can knock somebody else out. So it's a cool way to play these types of games. Again, it's like attack Scrabble. So I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's a blast, and I think it's something that would actually be pretty cool. This might be a good PAX East party game, but I love this idea of using Scrabble and words and stuff as a way to play an offensive game. And that's it. And that's all you play. You just keep going back and forth till there are, till everybody's knocked out. And that's kind of it. And I was able to play. I played against myself. I always kind of play these games against myself at first to kind of learn how to play. But once I played, my wife and daughter were all about it because we love Wordle, we love Scrabble. It's very easy game to play, so I can totally recommend it. If Words to Kill, and once again, it is by Unstable Games, so they make a lot of popular games. So cool, yeah, it's very very fun, simple word game. I like it. The simplicity I think is really cool. A nice card design too, so that's cool. Yeah, you're gonna have to find someone to play games with you then. In that case. Crickets. Okay, so we have you got a bunch of stuff. I've got Yeah, let me get over my next one, or I'm gonna let you go with your first one. Let me dig up this video here because uh it is we are all into the rail shooters these days, and uh, I know you are into rail shooters. You're a big fan of like Star Fox and games like that. I to the point where I texted you when Nintendo had their Star Fox Direct, and you
Yeah.
thought you thought it was a hoax. You had no idea what I was talking about, but
Yeah,
we
I figured you were joking, or it was some like leak, or not leak, but like fake leak that somebody had
yeah
come up with or
yeah.
something.
But you've been playing a game that's sort of like Star Fox because of that, and this is called Wild Blue Skies.
Yeah, like JJ is our like 2D side scrolling like old art
Mhm.
type arcade guy. I am the Star Fox Harriet Space Harriet guy. And yeah, this game, Wild Blue Skies, is there to invoke maybe one of those games specifically.
Hmm.
And it's so weird that like we recently talked about as like a team about like, we're trying not to compare games to other games as much.
Right.
But unfortunately, like Wild Blue Skies, like it doesn't exist without Star Fox. Like it is essentially a reskin of Star Fox with like all of the heart and soul kind of taken out of
Mm.
it. And I don't mean that in like a reskin as in just like it takes ideas. I mean it takes like I don't want to use the P word because a bunch of people have
Sure.
on the internet already, but there are like full bosses, full level designs, full
Mm.
concepts. There's like levels like in Star Fox where you like sort of raid this like base, and you destroy if you destroy all of these spotlights, you get to
Hmm.
go to the exit route. One level in this game just has spotlights for absolutely no reason in it, and if you
Huh.
destroy all of them, you get to go to the next route. The final boss is also something that you shoot them in the hands and in the mouth, like that you might
All
in
right.
Star Fox. Yeah, it's it's unfortunate that like I feel like for them, like they were developing this game and they essentially tried to develop Star Fox like a little bit to like test run things and then make their own version.
Hmm.
And then Star Fox on Switch too happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was kind of time to bail on it. I don't know. It's rough because like if you take away like even the Star Fox like concept behind it and you
Hmm.
look at it as an on rails like arcade game essentially, it doesn't do like things that you would expect arcade games to do, like if you destroy a certain monster in a certain area or a certain enemy in a
Hmm.
certain area, you would expect like health to drop out of them
Yeah.
repeatedly in like an arcade game if they dropped health or they dropped a bomb or whatever. That's not how item drops work in this game, except for like their version of the gun upgrades. I think are
Hmm.
specifically tied to I'm sorry. No, they have like a like you spell wild or whatever. You can pick up
Oh,
wild in
okay.
the map, and those items are locked specifically to certain monsters within the levels, but they don't heal you. But they're like, so it's not like one of those where it's like you destroy a certain set of monsters and it will spawn a heal. It just kind of randomly spawns heals. And in a game like this, it can sometimes spawn heals in a location that you actually can't fly
Hmm.
to. The brakes in this game don't work the way you'd expect it. It kind of just makes you lose all power and you drop out of the sky. So if you need to use the brakes to move quickly from one side of the screen to the other, it like doesn't allow you to do it because it just
Huh.
stops all of your momentum and just has you falling, so it actually hinders you. It does, however, allow you to do like 0G turns in the like free flight areas,
Okay.
as opposed to like the on rails section. So it's like overall just kind of weaker. They've somehow like made the
Hmm.
gun worse by splitting the shooting button and the charge for the like locked on laser to different buttons, and then also
Huh.
made bomb a different button.
Really?
So it overcomplicates things that like weren't broken. You actually can see in one of their trailers that the enemies are capable of flying through objects and you're not
Oh
capable of
boy.
it. And that while they're wholesale stealing the open range flight ideas from Star Fox, and like that's being generous. Like
Mm,
again, I don't want to use the P word, but like it feels like it at
mm.
times. And they make a big deal of who the voice actors are, but I've maybe heard a paragraph in total from each one of those characters, maybe 2 paragraphs total from Bowie there, the main character. And that's about as much development as you get. So
Mm.
there's not even a reason to like the characters. They're also kind of useless. They will fly around in circles and not shoot towards enemies during sections of the game too. So yeah, I just like honestly, like there are
Mm.
other games that are emulating this style that are more modern. X Zodiac is a good
Sure.
example of that I would highly recommend. But
Mm.
it is hard in a world where Star Fox exists to recommend this, let alone like the re-release of Star
Yeah.
Fox and Switch 2.
Oh man.
So if this disappoints you, I implore you to look at something like an X Zodiac. I
Mm.
mean, if you're palatable to emulation, there is a decompile of Star Fox 64.
Hmm.
So you know, if you own an old 64 game but you want to be able to play it on modern hardware, there you go. Yeah, it's not great. Very highly disappointed, I would say. Because
Man.
it's not maybe a real popular game in this type. This year of our Lord 2026. And like I think even those side-scrolling 2D ones get kind of like reverence just because there is so many historic franchise in that like style of gameplay. But yeah, I don't know. It's rough. But this one just certainly doesn't land. It's
Uh,
a love letter that got lost in the mail somewhere.
love letter that got lost. That's perfect. Oh my goodness. I like that you said it did not land, which is pretty funny because that
Yes,
is a
yeah.
space flight. Yeah. um, okay. I have been we'll bounce back and forth here. I like
Gotcha.
when you and Jade bounced back and forth last week while I was out. You did pretty good, and I watched you guys right in early when I got up the next morning. So good work, good work. But I figure we'll do the same thing here. I have been playing. I mentioned tabletop card game. I've been playing another party game, and this party game is actually out. It's been out for a while, but it's just now getting on a Switch too. We're in that era of port everything to Pets 2. Port everything to Switch 2. So Pets 2, which is fine. I think that's the way it should be. You know, the Switch 2 launched. There were projects already done that couldn't launch the Switch 2 because they didn't have the development hardware, and now they finally do. One of the games that launched this party game came out for Switch 2, been on everything else up until now, is Lego Party. And I'm a big, I again hate to compare it to other games, right? But this is very much a Mario Party game. Like it's a party. Mario Party set the standard for what these games are. So anytime somebody comes up with one, you're going to be comparing it to the king, the progenitor of this genre. Well, so Lego Party, it's out on Switch 2 now, and I like this more than Mario Party. The
Mhm.
gameplay, the ideas are to me are better than Mario Party. I first played this at Summer Game Fest last year in 2025, and then I think it came out in like that September, October on like PS5 and Series X and PC, all that kind of stuff. Now it's on Switch 2, um, and it's really good. It's just such a really good, awesome party game. So I think the reason it's awesome is, what makes special is the Lego twist, right? So it's still mini games, it's still boards, right? A lot of fast button mashing in these mini games. Kind of all the typical kind of party game things are there. But what is really cool about it is that the that Lego twist has. So there are 4 boards, and maybe is the best way to kind of explain it. There are 4 boards. Doesn't seem like it's a lot of boards, right? When other party games have like 8, 10 sometimes. But a lot of things happen in these boards. Like the developers have taken, I think the developers are SMG Studio, so they did Death Squared, they did Moving Out, some other stuff. So they have a good pedigree of this kind of stuff. And those are both games that we played on the Switch. So they have a really good pedigree. Fictions is the publisher on this, but so there's 4 boards, and what's really interesting about these boards, they're constantly shifting and they're constantly changing. So it may seem like you're in the space board, right, or this board that we're seeing on the screen here, but what's really cool about it is that you can collect bricks, make adjustments to the boards. A lot of things will happen. There's almost like there's little mini boss fights and stuff on the boards. Like there's one of the boards has an alien, one has like this other monster, that kind of. It's just really cool that you can put a lot of life into the board. So it's more than just a party game in that respect. It's also a little bit of a Lego action game, right? So the boards are cool. All these little events to engage in, and it really does feel like we're playing through Lego sets, which I think is really cool. Because the smart thing they did was that the actual mini game portion kicks off each round. So you select your character, you can create a character, or you select one of the ones they've already made. And you you can collect these gold bricks and a bunch of other stuff to create more characters and collect characters on the line and open up more customization features. So you really can get your own character design, which is fun. I played with my daughter in a hotel room and it worked out perfect that way. But so the mini games start out at the front of the rounds, the beginning of the round, and that's what determines like whoever wins and loses, or where you end up in the mini game, is what determines your positioning for the round turn. So that's a really neat way. Instead of like dice rolls, like I hate the dice rolls in Mario Party.
And my understanding is the mini games feel more fair, right? It's more of a competitive thing, and totally. More strategy than it is like Mario Party, where some of the games feel a little bit more luck based.
Yeah. Some of the games are more luck based. Not here. These are more. There's definitely more strategy, and it's not out of reach for like the littlest kids. I could see my nephews being into this. They're into Legos right now, and I'll have a quick story after this to talk about that. But they're into Legos and stuff now, but big time. And so they would be into this, because it's not out of reach. It's totally accessible. And it's really fun. They have like this narrator, because you're sort of watching a Lego TV show, like a game show. And so they have a really good kind of narration system that is playing the whole time. It's not like overkill. You can turn it off, but it's playing the whole time and kind of, dictating what's happening. So it was really cool. But yeah, it's like the only quote unquote issue is that there isn't anything that's like Switch or Switch 2 specific in this. I didn't notice any motion. There's definitely no mouse mode things in this, I should say. So for the Switch 2, it is just really nicer visuals, and I should say cleaner visuals, because it's hard to mess up Lego because it's so basic. It's just some of the lighting they're using, the frame rates and things that are improved to Switch 2 version, and it's a free upgrade. But yeah, this may be my I'll have like Mario Party for like the quote unquote, maybe a family night type of thing. Like if my wife wants to play or my daughter wants to play and they want to play this very specific Mario characters. But I think for every other person, my nephews for sure, buddies, whenever we do the next pool quest, we're gonna be playing Lego Party. Like Lego Party is really good. I think it is maybe the better party game right now for these types of board games, because I love Lego, so they did a really good job with this. The audio is great. It's just really fun. It's difficult to talk about this without just saying it's like you're literally playing with Legos on a board, and that's essentially what it is. So you legitimately can't go wrong. So yeah, Lego Party Switch 2, really fun, and it's goofy too, because like stuff you can do in this game that you can't do in other party games is like your characters in Lego can fall apart and then they come back together, and it's really funny. And in Lego games, so there's like cool stuff that happens in this, and Yeah, it's good. Kudos, I guess, is the way to say it. But I liked it a lot. I like the Switchy version, and it may have replaced and become my main party game. It's definitely the party game that I'll be playing on my own because I want to just keep unlocking. Like, there's that little obsessive compulsive part of me, which is like I have to unlock more characters and customization and components, and this game is nicely built around that. So there's that good little carrot, and there's a few extra modes, but just the main mode I think is pretty worthwhile. So that was Lego Party. You've been playing a game I had never heard of this game. And you posted in our chat here, and I'm like, I don't know what this is, but something called Librarian Tidy Up, the Arcane Library.
Yeah, it's seen like a little bit of like internet fame, I guess. And I actually didn't originally know anything about it until my wife showed it to me as something that she might be interested in. As somebody who loves books and has her own library, she was like, maybe I want to clean up somebody else's mess and see how it goes. And as you're looking at it, that's it. You're looking at the game right there. That is just a library with over 3,000 books ready for you to put back onto shelves in one way or another. And that makes it sound mysterious and creepy. It's not. It's just straightforward. It's first person grabbing books off the ground and throwing them up on the shelves in orders. Is it illusionary magic? Well, then it goes in, I believe, II, or 1I, which is the first floor, section I. And then in whatever order you put that specific manuscripts, if they're in there. So, yeah. It's one of those, if you just want to listen to a podcast, if you like books more than you like scraping the paint off of something or water blasting the side of a house or anything like that, look at books. I mean, there's obviously like some of the titles of the books, like there's romance novels, there's some witty titles, some stuff. Obviously, there's magic titles, there's some necromancy titles in there. And there is, because it's magic based, there are magic powers that you can unlock to make sorting kind of easier. There's stuff like automatically putting things in the books in order that you have in your hand, or highlighting other books in that series on the ground so you might be able to go get them. There's one that makes you be able to jump between floors, which you think is like not that good of a power until you've like climbed up to the second floor to drop off one book and then gone to the first floor to drop off a book and done that in succession about 300 times. So there's achievements for doing it different ways and stuff, but it's a nice little experience. And it runs on Steam Deck too, so
cool.
I imagine also runs on some pretty like lower end hardware. So it, you don't necessarily need much to be able to run it and play it and experience it.
Okay.
So yeah, and it's not like, what you see is what you get. There's not jump scares. There's not, there's not evil things lurking. It doesn't even allude to creepy things. And you get a reward at the end for doing it. So
I love these kinds of games because, again, I mentioned my OCD for collecting things. I also have OCD for making sure things are neatly arranged and clean. This looks just like you said. It's great. It's put on a podcast and play this. God, that's
or
awesome.
you just you don't necessarily want to like stare at the programming that's on your television, but you want to hear it or whatever. Yeah. Great little, I don't need to pay attention for 45 minutes. Okay, I do need to pay attention for 5 seconds, like game. Perfect.
Love it. Librarian, tidy up the library, the Arcane Library. Okay. And you've been playing another one. There are actually 2 more games. Both these games are similar in some respects, and I'll get to that in a second. But we all got codes for Agent 64. I haven't had a chance to jump in yet. I know we're going to try to set up with the 4 of us. I think you, JJI, and Taylor to play maybe this week or whatever. We'll figure out a time. It It is, let's see, Agent 64. What do you think that could allude to? You got those, hey kids, you like those classic style games? Yeah, it's a classic style N64 shooter game. And you like GoldenEye. We all like GoldenEye. There you go. I'm trying to keep the chat out of here, by the way, until we get the stupid thing on there. But anyways, yeah, what I haven't had a chance to dive in yet. What have you thought so far?
So yeah, I mean, I think this. I mean, I could be wrong. You know, with indie games, and it feels terrible to say this. I've been around for so long that sometimes you see games that look like other games, and you're like, are inspired by other games. And you're like, oh, this game's been around for like a long time. I swear, I've like vaguely seen this game for like a couple of years now, and when it was like, oh yeah, it's out, I'm like, hasn't it been? But yeah. I mean, obviously, again, as we said earlier, we've been trying to like maybe not exactly say like this game is this, but this. But come on, man, look at
look at it.
Look at the name. Look at what it is. Like, come on, it's truly trying to be a spiritual successor to one specific game. And that's, to be honest, in the one mission that I've played so far of it, it is so far trying to be that. Honestly, the first level invoked more of Perfect Dark than I would say GoldenEye 64.
Oh my gosh, there's big head mode.
Yes, yeah. So yeah, there you know, there was actually the first mission that I played, the like sort of par time, if you want to call it that, the speed run time for it. If you got it underneath a certain amount of time, you unlocked big head mode. It like when I completed the mission, it was like, oh, if you complete it in this amount, you complete this objective, you'll unlock big head mode. So yeah, it's obviously trying to be that. It is not like as like aggressively trying to be that as some games. I think that try to invoke that gunplay style art. It seemed very willing to sort of auto lock with you, but also the sort of flow of aiming like up and down and left and right felt a lot better than it would on obviously that sort of old school hardware. There was the sort of, I believe it was left trigger, but the Z triggering to do your aiming while standing still and stuff like that. So it seems like they've taken a lot of the like idea concepts, modernized them without like, you know, it's the taking of the fun of what that was without like removing the visual jank, but removing the sort of like roadblocks that it would be to the modernization or to a modern palette to actually want to control. And I'd love to actually play this on a mouse and keyboard, because I did play it on the Steam Deck, just to play it with a, you know, just to kind of go through it. But I'd love to see what a mouse and keyboard is like. Can you actually run it like, you know, if you want to play it like Counter-Strike, can you play it like that sort of aiming and stuff? But yeah, I'm interested because as we've seen in this trailer and as we talked about, it does seem like 4-player co-op is available for the campaign. For other missions, and then obviously it looks like up to 8 players in, you know, split screen, but just like in those old games allows for 4-player split screen. And I do wonder if it's going to allow us to do split screen, like a true split screen, or if it's going to because we're online, it's going to be our own screens. And even if we can set that up as options. So yeah, very excited to try it out. Cool. Yeah, I think it'll probably be our next like Friends Shop stream. I don't think anything's ahead of it at this point, but we do have like a laundry list of codes of things that we have to play, but we'll play this one next for the actual Friend Shop. Yeah. Well, and I think we now have like Big Walk Wednesdays. It appears to be like unlocked. So
listen, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that was the next game that I think we should.
Oh, good.
About, which is perfect. Is Big Walk. I was very, very bummed that I missed when you guys played when I was out of town. So I was happy to jump in the next Wednesday, this past Wednesday, and boy was Zero's. Thank you to Zero for hosting, by the way, and setting all that up. Boy, is this game just a special piece of. It's a special video game.
Yeah. And you mentioned Zero, like I'm sure he won't mind us shouting out his stream. He has a VOD of when the two of us played. But when you played with us the other night,
I was falling asleep during our during the outplay session. I just landed earlier that day, and I'm like, I was holding the Switch too, and I'm doing this, and like, I don't know if you guys see me on camera. I'm like doing one of these things, and I'm like literally. And then I heard you guys say, "Is he asleep?" And I'm like, "I'm watching the Tiger game." The TV was off in my house,
Well, we were
but it was
we
so good.
so it was our second night playing. So I had said
Okay.
to them, because you retain your colors once you get painted.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I'm already the color scheme I want. So if you guys want to go get painted, like go get that set up. And I'll like hang out here for Dally. And even when you walked in and I was like, "What's up, buddy?" and you were like, "Hey, man," like it sounded like you just
So
woke
lethargic.
up. Yeah.
Today I mentioned on Blue Sky. Today was the first day I think I finally got over my jet lag. I get horrible jet lag. Doesn't matter which way I'm going. I just get the worst jet lag. But anyway, yeah. Big walk. You're literally just walking to sections to figure out puzzles, and you have to figure them out as teams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we we got so in the weeds with some stuff. Like I'm trying to think when you did we find the big map before you took off?
No, you found it just after I left.
Okay. Yes.
Because you were dropping my dead body off the side of the.
Yes. Yeah. Off the cliff. Yeah. We were. Yeah. We were turning stuff in, and then we were getting the key to go do that. Yeah. We actually. Yeah. We did crush it. Cricket.
Mm-hmm.
The other night in there, we pushed through some puzzles. Got to see some cool stuff. It's just funny too, because it allows for such like I don't want to say the word abusive, like non-aggressive conversation when things can become absolutely maddening. Like kind of just like we were doing one puzzle, and I was the only one that kind of like at first walked across to kind of see what was going on. And it had that, I was kind of getting mad because I'm like, we didn't get any information from them. They didn't radio me at all. Like they didn't do anything. This was after my cat dumped like a gallon of water on my kitchen table.
That was really funny because he suddenly disappeared.
Yeah, I had to go take care of that for 20 minutes. But I'm like, I got so upset with myself. I got so upset like on that walk. But like that distance between those two spaces was just enough for me to like calm down, and I could hear them in the distance like goofing off about something. And I was like, all right, that's not the attitude I need coming up here. Like it's not going to solve anything. And then of course, like, we figured it out. It was just it was a counting game or whatever. But yeah, it's like, it gives you just like enough goofy stuff to make you forget that you're being frustrated that you can't figure something out. And when you can't figure something out, like maybe it rubs somebody's brain the right way that it doesn't rub your brain, that you can figure it out. And then while it's going on, maybe somebody's over there in the sand squeaking like two balloons rubbing against each other because the audio is just so ridiculous. And I mean, we've not played. I guess my brother and I did an audio check with the two of us, but I've not played with under 4 people. And you can set it to essentially the amount of people you're playing, except for when you're 4 and above. And I wonder if it can count like, oh, there's 8 of you in here, so this puzzle needs to be 8. But I think it's just like 4 and above. And I think it's interesting that we're playing with like 6 or so, just because it gives us like extra than what the game asks for to complete the puzzle. So it kind of gives people an extra person to, if they're kind of fed up and they don't want to deal with puzzles, they can walk around and just talk to somebody for a while. Or if they don't really want to, like, if they want to go on a big walk and see what's around and, like find anything out. Like my brother talked about how cool the train was that none of us saw but him. And we were all waiting around for the train, and he's like, "I'm gonna get it to you guys." And then it was like, "I don't know how to get the train, so I'm so sorry." We were like, "Oh," but like, yeah. And then we just went on about doing our thing. Yeah, Cricket mentioned X. Like, he didn't play with us the second night. The first night, he like barely was doing the puzzles. He would disappear, find some stuff, be like, I found the next puzzle, and like lead us to it, and then go, I'm gonna look for another one, or help us solve that puzzle real quick, and then just go off in the other direction to look for another puzzle. So yeah, it's so weird because it's like, is it a puzzle game? Is it a social game? It's not like a social deduction game, but it's like we've all committed to, none of us are looking up how you play this game or like how to solve puzzles or where puzzles are. Like we are all committed to figuring it out. And like even in something like Destiny raids, like eventually when we couldn't figure it out, we would always in the group look it up because we needed to get through the content. Where this, it's like the hanging out is the content, and there's just like, we've been calling them babies, but I think there is an official name of the little bean guys we've been turning in. But yeah, it is certainly something magical. I think we're going to be talking about and playing it for like quite some time. Gosh, I mean, we've been talking in the Discord. Game of the year this year is going to be absolutely insane. And I think it comes down with how cool your friends are. And like, it's like, did you have cool enough friends to play this? Then like, then you might choose a Big Walk as game of the year. Did you play roguelikes by yourself? Maybe it's another game. Did you? I'm just looking at. God, there's so much that you could potentially be playing. But like, if you have friends that play video games and they have like modern hardware within the last like 5 years, like be playing this. Like, gosh, I hope it's somehow
free on PlayStation Network. By the way, it's part of if you have PS
if you're
Plus,
PlayStation Plus,
I didn't even know that.
Base, the base
buying
level.
It. That's fine.
Oh, I think, but that's the thing. It's like I almost think it's worth like even if you have it for free on PlayStation Plus, buying it on Steam. Just so like you can have somebody local playing with you.
Buy it on Steam, buy it on Switch. You Switch buy it everywhere.
If my wife ever has an opportunity to play it with us some night, like she knows enough about games that she can hop in and I can just hand her the Steam Deck and be like, go to the other room.
Very simple. It's very simple to jump into. I loved it. I thought it was, Zero was the one that has been really excited for this game. I mean, I think all of us were looking forward to it, but Zero has been in the Discord was posting a lot, which was really cool. And he was really excited, really hyped about it. And that was really kind of infectious. And so, again, I'd be looking forward to it. And then once you guys all started getting together, I'm like, oh, I will totally hop in and play. And I'm glad it was over a couple, a few sessions. I'm glad the game's big enough where it'll take like 3 or 4 sessions. That people can hop in and out anytime.
It might take 300 to 400 sessions.
Yeah.
Looking at if the reveal to us last night or the other night was to
that map. It's funny. Like I know people, everybody that I have seen that has finished the quote unquote finished the game has just been like, in awe at the end and how everything kind of comes together and how your walk. And it's so just cool. I think give it up to the Untitled Goose folks, which is really funny because that was the game we played the very first night we got into this house. We moved in and we ate pizza in a closet because we didn't have any furniture yet. And the closet space was a walk-in closet was the only place we could eat. And then we had a little tiny TV and we had my Switch and I played Untitled Goose Game, and then this is their next game, and this is the game. It's like, I think it just continues that awesome level of magic that House puts out. So, you could skip a week, you could skip 2 weeks. I joined 1 week late, and I was able to hop in. I think the big walks you get it right away, you figure it out right away, especially because there's enough people that are like pointing and doing things.
You just need like if it's your first night, you just need to sit in that like first little zone to get your movement down, like understand how interacting with objects work and like activating objects, and then you're solid because any new thing sort of makes sense at a base level, and then you've got hopefully a buddy that knows what he's doing or knows what they're doing.
I'm glad you stuck around and
the buddy
literally
system,
walked me through. Yeah.
The buddy system is like the way to go in that. It's like scout camp for people that never committed to the cult of religion or scouting. It's a really fun game. Like, I again, highly recommend it, even if you're going to play with you and one other person.
Totally. Good stuff. Big walking. We big walking. And we're going to be big walking out because that was this week's episode.
Oh, we're done big talking today?
We're big talking. I did a quick little news bites. Didn't get into too much, but it's good. I will say this. I wanted to bring up a quick story because I mentioned it slightly in the Discord. when I was in on vacation. We went to we had a tour guide and we went to Monaco, and I want to bring it up to you. It was really funny. That's why I'm wearing my Monaco shirt today, because our tour guide says, yeah, we're gonna go to Monaco, and we're gonna go on the Monaco course. And so everybody in our van is like, oh, we're in a racetrack. We're gonna go on a real racetrack. Me in the back, like I'm in the back corner going, oh, you guys don't know what an F1 course actually is. I'm like, I can't wait for this reveal.
Monaco
this is
specifically one, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't wait. So we get to, she like pulls up to, there's like a little shop with like sandwiches on the right, and there's like an Hermes store on the left, and she's like, well, this is the starting line. And everyone's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, it's a street. It's literally, it's as course. Big as Monaco. You're just going around the perimeter of Monaco, which is pretty funny. But it is cool.
Be able to take the hairpin tighter than the F1 cars.
It's pretty funny because we did the hairpin, and right away she's like, yeah, if I went any faster, I probably would have tipped the
Oh, yeah, I guess if you're a fan,
probably don't want to go that quickly, but it was pretty cool. It was good to get to go around that track. But I'm like, I know this from TV, I know that from TV, and there's they still have like the starting, like the positions are still on the street, still painted on there, so it's pretty funny. But yeah, good stuff. But I'm gonna zoom into bed shortly because I'm slowly recovering. And I have recovered, but I've got a work week ahead. I'm sure you got to work. Everyone's got work weeks ahead. Thank you all to all of our lovely listeners, all of our lovely viewers. Again, SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV on YouTube and Twitch. Hop into the Discord. Visit us on all the socials and all that fun stuff. Oh, wait, there was one thing. I just saw my video was still up. I was not lying when I said I had 0 reactions to Alien Isolation. And they didn't get a chance to render out the video of me not having a reaction when they did the Summer Game Fest. But I take it back. They did. They sent me the updated video, and I was so excited. They're like, hey, we found it. And the reason was because
it was on the shelf.
Yeah, it literally, they said we found it, but we couldn't find any reaction that you had. And I emailed them back. I'm like, I didn't have any jump scare. Like there, I know the jump scare portion. But the video is funny. Let me load it up here. So you see me here, yeah? All right, there I am. And by the way, the angle is like right up my nose. Right.
The angle's awful, dude.
The angle is just awful.
Oh, that's bad.
Like there's a jump scare where like there's a couple in the game real early on. And man, my double chin is just ripping on this one. But check this out, ready? You can see that was it. That was my reaction, was the smile. I'm like, that's it. And then I'm like, oh, wait, there's someone behind me. Like that freaked me out more. I heard the dude walking behind me. I'm like, oh my God, what was that? That was it. This is my whole reaction.
Rough,
it's horrible.
You look like you're like 10 years old or 50, 20 maybe. Gosh.
Yeah, like at least I'm like 40 in this picture.
Dude,
but yeah, like that was it. That was my whole reaction.
Looks like you've been up partying all night too. Like
we weren't.
It's the yeah. Oh no, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like it's the like filter they've got on you here.
Yeah.
The black and white like nighttime filter of the day.
It's funny because like I look and I see the guy after he made noise, and then I turn back and he's like, oh, what's going on back there? He turns and checks on me. He's like, oh, what's going on that way? That was it. That was my whole reaction the whole time. And so yeah, they couldn't find me with a jump scare. So I have proof that I was not scared of anything. It was a cool session though. I definitely read my step-by-step of what I did on there. Like this is me looking around going, okay, what am I doing here? Let me figure this out. And there's my little yawn that I just had right there. Because of course I was tired. Do my best to stay awake and make sure this camera didn't capture anything that, God, what a horrible angle. Holy cow. That's going to be that's the thumbnail. There's my smile, knowing that's the end of it. But okay, SideQuesting.com, SideQuesting TV, all the fun stuff. See you on the next episode of the SideQuest. Toodles, everybody.
Bye, friends.